As soon as we emphasize the importance of one group over another, whether it's me over others or my family or my tribe, my nation, as being more superior than others, this is what causes conflicts, wars. It makes all kinds of a mess. We need to really focus on the whole system, meaning all of humanity, benefiting that and wanting the spiritual lights and the spiritual forces, wanting that quality of love and bestowal to dwell and reach all of humanity, meaning that just as the Creator sees all of humanity as completely equal, as this single soul that was originally in this connected state, which eventually shattered from it, and which all needs to come back to correction. And in the end, in the final correction, when we all reach that purpose of creation, we will all have that similar sensation and perception of that soul. So likewise, if we're aiming to be like that Creator, if we're aiming to come into equivalence of form with this force of love and bestowal, so then we need to make sure that when we're aiming our intention, we're not focusing on some groups and not on others. And you can see in humanity, in general, this is a major problem. As soon as we emphasize the importance of one group over another, whether it's me over others or my family or my tribe, my nation, as being more superior than others, this is what causes conflicts, wars. It makes all kinds of a mess. So in spirituality, we learn to direct our efforts to love and bestow, firstly through the spiritually supportive environment that we're all parts of, meaning that we first aim to develop connections of love and bestowal among those who are studying the wisdom of Kabbalah, because they represent people whose spiritual desires have awakened at this current moment, in front of us, what's been revealed to us. So we work with those, meaning that we know that others in this environment are also working on those same principles. Because if we try to take those principles now into an egoistic environment and try to love and bestow and be altruistic, in an environment where others aren't working on those same attributes, then we're simply going to get trampled on. In the egoistic world, we pretty much have to just relate, as egoists like anyone else, because there's no choice. If you try to apply altruism in an egoistic environment, you're going to be trampled on. Simply put, you'll give one thing to a person, and then they'll want another thing, and then another thing, and another thing, and then you won't be able to supply for all the egoistic needs that everyone will want to have fulfilled. So we first work with that spiritual environment that's closer to us, and then what's very important though is that we don't close ourselves in on that, meaning that we don't just think of my own spirituality or my spirituality and this group that is around me, that their spirituality, but we think that how do we make these forces of love and bestowal influence the whole world? And that's why also Kabbalists engage in things like the dissemination, the spreading, the sharing of the wisdom, while we're giving lessons such as this now. But even more important than that, even on a more internal level, just having that intention to benefit humanity, we don't understand how much our thoughts and our desires and our intentions operate in the world. That just from, it's even been said that some kind of inner effort that we make toward love and bestowal, to not act according to this unconscious egoistic desire that emerges in me, but by having some kind of inversion of that, by working outside of that and getting influence and inspiration from a spiritually supportive environment that makes me do an opposite action to my ego, just that, even without moving from one's chair, without even moving one's hand, but doing this inner action, we don't understand, we do not perceive what kind of a positive influence that has on the world around us, and how if a critical mass of people working in such a way is reached, how much it will positively affect humanity. It's if it was revealed to us, then everyone would already be in that spiritual state, because we'd see clear egoistic benefit from having these positive thoughts towards others. But precisely because we have to develop a sincere desire for bestowal and love above our egoism, So that whole picture is concealed from us until we attain that picture, you know, at its very end. When we're ready to see that picture in a form of bestowal, where we're not receiving egoistic enjoyment, like, you know, I did some kind of inner action now, and now I see the results out there in the world. You know, I feel like a king. You know, I feel like I'm, you know, like the guy in the Matrix. Yeah, like that I'm some kind of like super guy, like doing all kinds of things here. So we can see, that picture is completely concealed from us, so that we can truly develop a desire to bestow, truly develop a desire to be loving and caring toward others and toward the Creator, toward, you know, the supreme force of nature, to become like it, and have no absorption egoistically while we do so. So that's the whole thing here about not neglecting leg day, meaning not to neglect any part of humanity, but to always be aimed that the abundance of spirituality will reach everyone. Even if it's just in our intention, even if we don't have access to doing anything physically in relation to that, it's something very important, because anything that separates parts of humanity from it, it ends up leading to, in short, negative consequences, and you could see wars and conflicts as being a very, you could say, extreme example of that.